From towering glaciers to breathtaking wildlife, Alaska offers an adventure like no other. Have you ever considered taking an Alaskan cruise? Would you like to know when to book for the best deals, what to explore, how to make the most of your trip? Stay tuned as we reveal our top recommendations, plus 5 amazing cruise deals you won't want to miss for 2025 and 2026.
We've actually done two Alaska cruises. And in fact, we have a third one that we're getting ready to start planning for, which we'll talk about in a moment. So we thought this would be perfect timing to start talking about Alaska because a lot of the new itineraries have been released for 2026. There's a lot of great inventory for 2025. And I found some pretty amazing deals that I'm really excited to share with you.
It's not always that easy to find a good deal for Alaska.
So why is Alaska the ultimate cruise destination? What do you think?
Oh, unparalleled scenery, amazing wildlife, watching bald eagles and all kinds of beautiful animals, authentic culture of some of those really cute towns up in Alaska.
Yeah, the scenery is amazing. It's going to be breathtaking. You're going to take a ton of pictures on your camera or your smartphone. It is all about the scenery, the great outdoors, the amazing air.
Disappearing glaciers.
Alaska is an amazing destination. So clearly, it's all about the destination in this case, but it's also about how you get there. And so we're talking about cruising in Alaska and even cruising to Alaska. There's a few things you need to know about the seasons. Peak season is the summer. Summer in the US is also peak season in Alaska. That comes with some pros and cons. If possible, you might want to consider the spring season. So that could be May, it could be into June or the fall. Typically, if you go earlier or later, it's not quite as busy in the areas, and you're going to have some really nice weather. It can get surprisingly hot. It's a lot of times t-shirt weather, especially in the summer. So it is not a year-round destination. What most of the cruise lines do is they reposition certain ships from other places into this region for the Alaskan season. And our recommendation is if you can, try to avoid the peak of the season. You'll still have an amazing time, but you're going to be doing with a lot of ships in port and a lot of other people.
And regardless of when you go, you should start booking. Now is a good time to book.
So always book early on any cruise if the cruise is next year or the following year. That's going to get you by far the best deals. And you're also going to have the most flexibility on choosing the cabin that you want on the ship that you want. Have a little bit of flexibility. We're going to show you 5 amazing deals. The good news is all those deals that we show you, there are multiple different weeks you can book those same exact itineraries. Now, they may cost a little bit more, but there is actually a lot of flexibility when it comes to these sailings. They tend to repeat them for a few months during, like we said, the late spring, the summer, and the early fall. You're going to find your lowest prices if you go a little bit more off peak. Keep an eye on that. See the different months that we pick when we show you the great deals in a moment.
As you might imagine, balconies are in high demand for Alaska. That's important to you. Try to lock that up early.
Maybe this is a cruise that you spring for the balcony if you don't normally. If you normally just look for the lowest price on an inside or an ocean view, this could be one where it is actually worth that balcony. But even if you do the lowest cost to an inside cabin, of course, you're going to have great views, great decks. You can go any of the public spaces and still have an amazing time.
Some of the top cruise ports and destinations in Alaska include Juneau, Ketchikan, Skagway, and Sitka.
Yeah, you'll find most of the itineraries will include at least 3 of these will typically be included, and each one is unique in its own way and has some amazing excursions that you can take part in. One of the amazing glaciers is Glacier Bay National Park. And not every cruise goes to this destination, but one of the 5 that I'll share with you in a moment does go here. Even if that's not on your itinerary, you'll have some amazing sailings on every ship. The 2 that we've done, they've always gone into and explored different glaciers. We've done Tracy Arm. But we've also
Done Hubbard Glacier.
typically you'll spend several hours going through one of these on the water. They're incredible. As you see the glacier, the ice falling, the waterfalls, wildlife. So this is a can't be missed opportunity that typically every Alaskan cruise is going to have, maybe even more than once. As far as wildlife goes, pretty amazing.
Yeah, I remember once seeing an iceberg with a bald eagle on it. That was really cool.
Very
You never
cool.
know what you'll see, but it's a great place to see whales of all kinds, like orcas, humpbacks, and gray whales. Most of these ports that you would stop in have whale watching adventures that you can go on.
Plenty of outdoor adventures are possible. You can see us here gearing up for, looks like maybe some,
That's Baby Us from way back in 2005.
this is probably canoeing or kayaking or something like that.
Mhm.
We've done all kinds of different things from hikes. We've done outdoor barbecues. We've done wildlife viewing on the water, on land. I do want to tell you that no matter what your age is, it can be as active or inactive as you want. So we've done multi-generational sailings, like with my father, no problem at all as far as your physical activity levels, but just know you can certainly get in the outdoors no matter what. Plus, you have amazing little towns as well.
And now, one of our favorite things, talking about the food. Alaska has tons of great seafood. We still think about the smoked Alaskan halibut that we had years ago. It was so good.
We liked it so much that when we got home, we started ordering it and having it shipped to us. There's some really great food as you go. Of course, you'll have amazing food on your ship,
Hmm.
but you do want to take advantage of the local dining experiences in these stops. Of course, it's very memorable.
I remember once while we were sailing past some glaciers, we had an early morning brunch on our balcony. So that was very cool.
And then, of course, there are more trekking and excursion possibilities. Our advice to you on short excursions, this is the type of cruise you do want to get out there and do things. It may be bucket list for some of you. Book the short excursions early. You don't have to book directly with the cruise line. We'll put a link down below on how we find other excursions that sometimes are better, smaller group, less expensive. And we even use some tools to go ahead and help us plan the perfect day in all these stops. No matter how you do it, book early, especially if you're going during peak season in
Exactly.
the summer.
Exactly.
Get those bookings in. All right. So how do you prepare, Monica? How do you pack? What do you do?
I bring
Right.
everything I can fit in my little carry-on. Well, you obviously want to layer. Like Mark mentioned earlier, sometimes in the summer it can get pretty warm. I remember being on a hike and it was
It
quite
was in
so.
Juneau, I think.
So you want to have layers, keep an eye on the weather, and pack comfortable footwear. Sun protection, very important. And then any camera gear, otherwise bring that iPhone.
By the way, these cruises tend to be multi-generational friendly. So if you want more adults only, then we'll go ahead and link a video down below how you can find even Alaska sailings, which are mostly going to be kid-free if that's what you want. But in addition, if you want to bring kids or multi-generational, they will have an amazing time. We've sailed with our child when she was fairly young. It was an incredible experience. And like I mentioned, even with our parents as well. So absolutely going to be a great experience for really all ages.
But if you are looking for a unique, kid-free experience, Virgin Voyages has their new ship debuting next year. The Brilliant Lady is an adults only cruise, so you might keep your eye on the horizon for that.
Yeah, we'll be booking onto that. We already reserved our spot. They have not yet, at the time of this recording, announced the itineraries and all the pricing, but we plan on jumping onto that. We're excited about that. Like Monica mentioned, kid-free, but also amazing food. I think they're going to do a great job up in Alaska. And there are other lines with
Mm.
different experiences, but there's been some new announcements, even from Celebrity, with the Celebrity Edge going to Alaska for the first time.
Yeah.
So it's pretty exciting what's happening. We'll be doing some future videos when more details come out.
And another one of our favorites, Azamara, is going back to Alaska for the first time in 7 years.
So if you want that small ship experience, that might be a way to do it. We've already mentioned some of these cruise line options here. This is by no means all of them, but Celebrity, Holland America, Royal Caribbean, Princess, Norwegian, small ship experiences like Azamara, Oceania, Viking, adults only like Viking and Virgin Voyages. So you've got a lot of choices
Yeah.
when it comes to sailing. So let's start talking about some deals. Let's get you out to Alaska. We're going to start with this one from Norwegian Cruise Lines. It's on the Norwegian Jade. This is the low price leader. This is the least expensive one I could find for an inside cabin. We're talking $209 per day for two of you. That's per couple per day, and it includes the cruise fare, port fees, gratuities, and main inclusions. Every cruise line is a little bit different. If you want to pay for specialty restaurants or Wi-Fi or upgraded Wi-Fi, short excursions, yes, that's going to be extra, but this will cover the core of what you need. Like we always say, to a normal hotel price, it's almost impossible these days to find a good quality hotel in this price range. This includes your transportation, not your flights to get to Anchorage or to Vancouver, but everything in between. It includes all your food, all your entertainment, the crew, the gratuity. So it includes quite a bit, even if it's not totally all inclusive. This goes out of Anchorage and it ends up in Vancouver. So you've got a really great opportunity to extend your trip for a few days in Vancouver, which is one of our all-time favorite cities.
It's so beautiful there.
And here you're going to explore, see Hubbard Glacier. You're going to go to Icy Strait Point, Juneau, Skagway. You get 3 of the main 4 here. And even if you want to do a balcony, which we would recommend if you can make the leap to go ahead and do it, it is a lot more money, I realize. But even in this case, it's still under $400 per night for a couple at $381. This is going to be your low price leader, but this is not my least expensive on a balcony. That's still to come. If you like getting deals like this and learning about deals, we have an amazing download. You see the link on the screen, or you can use the QR code. Go ahead and download our Unlocking the Secrets of Traveling the World on a Budget. We've got tips like this and a whole bunch more to save you a lot of money on all your future travels. Please like the video and subscribe. That really helps us out. We'd appreciate it. And let's get back to the deals.
Cruise number 2, This is our top big ship deal. So this is Royal Caribbean, the Ovation of the Seas. So the Quantum class ship, it goes out of Vancouver and into Anchorage, and it lasts 7 nights. So this one, an inside cabin for a couple is $234 per day. If you want to bump up to a balcony, that would be under $400 per day, 377.
Still an amazing deal. A couple key things here. You're going to have the big ship experience on the Ovation of the Seas. And that might be a really nice way to explore Alaska because really most of the sailings, even the small ships, pretty much go to the same places. So now you've got a big ship with a lot to do on board as well as plenty to do when you get off the ship. So this could be a really great way to do it. These are newer ships. Royal Caribbean does a great job in the region. This is May 2026, by the way. So we wanted to give you a mix of cruises that are next year in 2025, as well as some that are in 2026. There's typically multiple different dates you could choose from for the same itineraries, including flipping the direction as well. The ones that we're sharing with you understand there's a little flexibility. The pricing might be a little bit different, but like I mentioned, this is going to be a really nice experience. There's a lot to do on board. There's amazing restaurants, including specialty restaurants, great entertainment, bars, etc. You can really have a great time on these ships. And this gives you an idea of what the itinerary looks like. You can see an overnight in Vancouver, which is cool in case you don't have time at the beginning or the end of the cruise. You can do it right as part of your sailing. Now you go into Anchorage and there's two different places you go out of when you fly into Anchorage. It's Seward and
Whittier.
And you're going to find each cruise line does it a little bit different where they go out of, but basically that's going to be your starting or ending point. All right, cruise number 3. This one is special as well because I call this one the convenience and more sea days. This is actually 11 nights. The first 2 we shared with you were 7 nights. In this case, you get 11 nights. This is probably going to have fewer kids because it's May, it's 11 nights, it's longer, there are more sea days. You want fewer kids, then this might be a really nice choice as well. It's also very convenient because it happens to go into and out of San Francisco. It also makes the flight and the trip to the destination and the arrival port super simple. You hit a really nice set of stops with Skagway, Endicott Arm. Again, that's going to be another one of those glacier sailings. It's going to be lovely. Juneau, Ketchikan, and then you go to Prince Rupert in British Columbia, which I don't think we've been to.
No, we have not.
So you can do something new that we haven't even had a chance to do. In this case, you can start as low as $255 for a couple per day for an inside, and jumping up to a balcony is just a tick above $400. But again, remember that it also includes all of your gratuities. You can see where Prince Rupert is here on the map in BC, and then obviously the sail days. You'll notice, like I mentioned, a few extra sea days. So if you're somebody who loves like repositioning cruises, this is cool because in a way you've got a lot of relaxation first, then you go hard, right? When you're in Alaska, by the time you get back to San Francisco, you're going to be rested and have had a great adventure.
Cruise number 4 is another round trip cruise out of Seattle. This is our best balcony deal. It's on Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas, first class ship.
We've been on this one, not on this Alaska sailing, but
Yeah.
we've been on Anthem, great ship.
Yes, it is. And it stops at Sitka, Skagway, Juneau, and BC in the beautiful town of Victoria. So you can go to Butchart Gardens there. It's really spectacular. This one, inside cabin, is $264 per couple per night. And then you can get a balcony for $339.
Yeah, come on, look at that balcony deal. Under $350 per night for a couple. That's amazing. Like we mentioned, this is a great ship, another one of those big ships. You have a really great experience here, and you hit some great stops. Notice a lot of our deals, again, are falling into what we said, not in that big peak in July and August, a little bit before and a little bit after. So that's your big advice. If you want to find the best pricing overall, be a little flexible and sail in May or sail in September. That's when the best prices typically are going to be around. And just to give you an idea, there's multiple different weeks you can choose from that you can go for the following year as well. So lots of flexibility on this sailing. Out of Seattle, you get a nice sea day to start, and then you hit it in Alaska, 3 straight ports. Then you get a day off at sea, hit Victoria, British Columbia on your way back, and finally end up in Seattle, Washington. So really nice itinerary. So the last one, I call this one the groundbreaker because Holland America really was the groundbreaker when it comes to sailing to Alaska. They really set the pace. So we had to have a Holland America sailing. This is April 2025 again, right? April, May, September. That's going to be your sweet spot for deals. I didn't pick the least expensive Holland America sailing. I wanted to pick one of their newer ships that's a pinnacle class. So I picked the Koningsdam. The pricing you see below, you can actually do Holland America and save a little bit from what you're seeing. But I thought this was a really nice combination of a simple round trip from Vancouver. You can spend some time in Vancouver in the beginning or the end. You hit Juneau, you hit Skagway, Glacier Bay, Ketchikan, and still well under $500 per night, even for a balcony. This is the lowest balcony price I could find on Holland America, and an inside brings it all the way down to $303. Don't forget ocean view as well. If you don't want to make the jump up to balcony, you still can go for ocean view, get some of the scenery, and then you just go up on deck when you want the full balcony experience. That's another nice option that we highlighted on each one of these deals.
April is a great time to be in Vancouver.
There you have it. You got 5 amazing deals to get you to Alaska. We're going to be joining you up there in 2025, so maybe we'll see you out there. Leave your comments down below. Let us know if you've ever been to Alaska. Really curious. Have you cruised Alaska? Who did you cruise on? What cruise line? Do you have a future booking in 2025 or 2026? If you found a great deal, share that down below as well. Also down below, we've got all of the links that we mentioned here in the video. It's going to help you get a better deal on your cruise, book your shore excursions at a really good price. My biggest advice is go ahead and just put your deposit down, get it locked up, get your pricing, get the best cabin.
If you enjoyed this content and like to hear about cruise deals, we're still waiting to hear the itinerary for the Virgin sailings in Alaska and also for Celebrity Edge Class itineraries as well. So stay tuned for future videos, and we'll see you out there.